What's going on, everyone? Chris here to talk about a show from the other night, December 12th. Great American Ghost touring to support Tragedy of the Commons, their newest album, with Wristmeetrazor, Downswing, Saltwound, and Iced Over. So Iced Over, local opener, hardcore group. This was at Empire Underground in Albany, New York. Iced Over, kind of, standard local opener. Some good energy, just overall, kind of like the modern hardcore thing. Didn't really do a lot for me, but the crowd seemed to be pretty happy with it. So that's hard to argue with, at least. These days it's easy for people to not engage. So Saltwound was up next, and that's part of the tour package. They're one of the bands I was really excited to see, and they were more that kind of like modern kind of, I don't know if it's metalcore, but that kind of modern crossover with hardcore, beatdown, and metal. Really good energy, really good vibe. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it, so I have to check them out a bit more. And I think they're one of the bands, kind of like, depending on how they handle the next album or two, we're either going to hear a lot more of them, or, which I hope for, or they might just kind of trail out. So obviously that's the case with most bands, but I think that in this day and age where you have so many bands and things are so saturated, for them to kind of rise up is going to require them to continue doing what they're doing, but find a way to elevate it, right? So Downswing was next. They were an Albany local band, but they were on the tour package. So I was eager to see them, but this one was tough for me because they had good crowd engagement, they had good energy, but it was like pop punk but hardcore, so like pop hardcore, and that part for me was really difficult because I don't really do pop at all, but just it took a lot of edge off. Like if you know the band Extermination Dismemberment, right? Kind of semi-brutal death metal. They have like brutal death parts, and then they have that like European metal poppiness to it, and it's this like really weird balance that sometimes works for the listener, the audience member, and sometimes it doesn't. So I think for me, while Downswing performed well, I don't think musically I enjoyed them much. But the crowd was definitely really excited to see them. And I think the crowd that wanted it got what they came for. So that's good. Wristmeetrazor was up next. This one was tough too. They were banned. On paper, I feel like I should really like them. They have grind parts, they have like these industrial parts, they have a lot of interesting stuff going in, but on stage it was, I don't know, something was missing. And I didn't realize that, what's his name, Tyler? I think his name is Tyler, vocalist for Foreign Hands. I didn't realize he was in the band. So it was cool to see him in a different role, right? Because when he's a vocalist, he's like present all over. As a member of Wristmeetrazor, he was, he did his part, he played, he was definitely grooving, but it was just a different level, so that was cool to see. But yeah, there was something, they had a lot of energy, but I don't know, it just felt like, I felt like something was missing. So I don't know them, I've never seen them before, I don't know kind of what they do or how they do it. And I know it was originally a one-member band, and then it kind of grew into what it is now. So, I don't know. They're another band I would have to see again to get a much better feel. Maybe if they were headlining, or maybe in a different venue. I don't know. It was the last day of the tour, so maybe they were just burnt out. And then Great American Ghost was up next, and this is so frustrating because I love this band. And I've seen them, 5 times now. I've seen them opener, mid, I've seen them headline, and like the new album is fantastic. It's growth for them. It's still like the really angry, aggressive, social, political stuff. There was some clean singing. One of the guitarists, not Nico, the other one, he has a really cool, I really like his voice. He's got kind of the somber, low voice that I think worked really well. But man, they still go out there and they shred. The new bassist who they picked up last year or earlier this year from Washington did great. He's doing some vocals, backup vocals. The new drummer killed it. And Nico, he's at home. I guess he just had a kid or something recently, so he's at home doing family stuff. So it was a 4-piece. But man, these guys just come out and they give it everything every time. I've never seen them lower the bar on their delivery. They use the entire stage. There's lots of fun, engaging parts, a lot of humor, a lot of aggression, and these guys just deliver. And you know, the crowds I've seen them play to, just there's a lack of response, which is really weird because it's got metal, it's got hardcore, it's got beatdown, it's got kind of this nice melodic, and for whatever reason, this show's in Washington and now here, the crowd just didn't engage. So I don't understand what that is. I have my my theories. I think Great American Ghost is one of those bands where they can cover a lot of ground with who they are and what they do. They write some of the nastiest riffs way back from their 2010 debut up to now. They just have these terrific riffs, great everything. But I think they're a band that, right, they're the landscape. They're not a site, right? I feel like they kind of encompass a lot of ground. They're not just like one beautiful tree in this sprawling landscape. I feel like they're the landscape, and I mean that as a very high compliment, in that while you're there, it's a lot to take in, and I don't think that's a negative thing. I think that people just aren't there yet. So yeah, I'm painting a really grand picture here, but I truly think this band is one of those bands, and I know they have new material coming out, and I know they have another tour probably a few months out, but so for me, seeing them again was great. Saltwound was great. Great American Ghost was great, and they're a band where I feel like you should definitely go see them if you get the chance. But really let loose. Disengage from the mental, disengage from the others, and just be a part of it. So, great show. Got a little bit of footage linked down below. And yeah, I love those guys, and I can't wait to see what they're going to put out next. So I'm really excited. I feel like they're getting close to really... Their trajectory to me feels like they're getting close to something really important as far as what they're going to contribute to this art that they do. So, that being said, my next show, I think it's in like 5 days. It's a local show. Not local, but semi-local show being put on by the Heavy Culture Complex. It's a local group that does, they have like a venue that they rent out, and they do metal shows, and they really try to promote heavy culture. So I'm eager to meet them and maybe even get involved with them. I think that's it for the year. That might be it for the year. We'll see. I've got a few things lined up for next year. I've got the show I'm putting on next April, so we'll see how this goes. Got a few more projects that I'm working on this year, so stay tuned. Hit subscribe. Thank you for helping us to regrow the channel. Please pass this stuff along. You know, we want to do some contests, we want to do some giveaways, but so far, subscriber interaction has been kind of low, so we really want to get people invested because we want to give back and do more. And yeah, all right, till next time.